Ćao ljudi, kako ste? Are you ready for another video that will help you sound like a native when speaking Serbian? In today's video, we will talk about how Serbs express their emotions. As you can learn even from the very first interaction, Serbian people are extremely expressive. You can see it in the way we talk, in our gestures, and often on our faces. Our faces never lie. Before we start, one thing that you should know is that we use a lot of swear words, especially when we are expressing our feelings. But we will let you learn these expressions on your own, because trust us, you will hear them everywhere and you will have no problem integrating those words into your vocabulary. In fact, it's one of the first things foreigners learn when they come to Serbia. So that's why today we want to show you some common expressions in the form of small words, exclamations, some catchphrases that you can hear in almost every situation, but you just can't make any sense of them if you're not a native speaker. So let's begin. First, we will talk about some positive feelings like love, happiness, gratitude, satisfaction. You probably already know some basic phrases that you can find in any textbook, such as volim te, sviđa mi se, srećan sam, zaljubljena sam. But we also say things like this. Ovo mi je ulepšalo dan, when the information we heard made us feel very happy. For example, dobila sam stipendiju. Ovo mi je ulepšalo dan. Or ovo mi je baš leglo, when we are satisfied, when something clicked for us. Odličan film. Baš mi je legao. Then you can hear people say, ne bih ja tu ništa menjao or menjala, when everything is just the way it should be. Super ti je kolač. Ne bih ja tu ništa menjala. When we are really happy, we can also say presrećan sam or presrećna sam. And then, if we just heard some excellent news that made us very happy, we will exclaim, to, opa, jao. Verili smo se, to. So these small exclamations are very efficient. And there is also one specific exclamation that we use when we are happy and satisfied about the sports that we are watching. Idemo bre, or Ajde bre. We use it a lot when our national team is playing or when we watch a tennis match with Novak Đoković in it. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, we can't always be happy. And when we feel angry, annoyed, frustrated, we swear a lot. But as we said, we won't discuss those expressions today. What we can share with you is one small but powerful word that is a mild form of swearing. You can hear people say this word when something annoying happens to them. And this word is marš, or shorter, mrš. There is no direct translation for this expression. It's like a quick and easy outlet for negative emotions. We can say it under our breath for ourselves, or we can just shout it out at someone if we want to let them know that we are annoyed and frustrated with them. But use this wisely. It will be considered offensive in most situations. So when people are really frustrated with someone, they will say ma mrš bre. The next level is, of course, adding a swear word to this expression. Another expression that is very close to swearing and usually ends with the swear word is nosi se. We use it when we had enough of something or someone and simply don't want to deal with them anymore. But again, make sure you use this only with your close friends, never with your family or colleagues. It's considered really offensive. Let me give you an example. Znaš da bi sve bilo bolje da si me poslušao. Ma, nosi se. Sad je kasno. We also use some less harsh expressions when we are frustrated or annoyed. There are two expressions that involve a Serbian word for nerves, which is živci. Ideš mi na živce. Nemam više živaca za ovo. And then there are expressions such as sve mi se skupilo, muka mi je od svega, dosta mi je svega. For example, zašto si tako nervozan? Ma, sve mi se skupilo. Another unique expression is pao mi je mrak na oči. Pao mi je mrak na oči kada sam mu čula glas. When we are sad and unmotivated, you can hear a typical tužan sam or tužna sam, but you can also hear us say something along these lines. Nije mi po volji. Nije mi dan. Nije mi ni do čega. Smorila sam se. Duša me boli. Imala sam stresan dan na poslu, nije mi ni do čega. When we see someone who looks sad, we can say that he or she is kao pokisao. Šta ti je? Što si kao pokisao? Ma, nije mi dan. Sometimes we don't feel like talking, so you can hear us say, or we would say, ništa me ne pitaj. Kako je prošao ispit? Ništa me ne pitaj. We can also feel indifferent about something or simply don't care. In these situations, you can hear us say one of these things. Kako god, svejedno, mrzi me. All of these express indifference. Hoćeš da ti donesem ručak sutra? Kako god. Hoćeš da idemo u bioskop ili na klizanje? Svejedno mi je. Zašto ne odeš malo da prošetaš? Mrzi me. So if you want to learn expressions like these, that are natural, real-life Serbian expressions that people actually use every day, and the ones that you rarely find in textbooks, then you can sign up for our one-on-one lessons. All individual classes are taking place online, and you can book sessions at a time that fits your schedule. Before you begin, you will get a free 30-minute trial lesson, so you can see how the lessons are structured and whether they match your learning style. I'll leave the link to our one-on-one lessons below this video, so you can book your trial lesson whenever it suits you. Now I'm going to show you two small words that can express a range of different emotions depending on the context. These two words are ajde and jao or joj. For example, when we are having a positive reaction to something, we can simply say ajde. For example, upravo smo kupili kola. Ajde. This is sort of like saying stvarno to express a positive surprise at something. But we use the same word, ajde, also when we are annoyed or mad. And then we say, ajde, nemoj sad da me nerviraš. Ajde, ostavi me na miru. So here it is in the context. A što nećeš sa mnom u prodavnicu? Ajde, nemoj sad da me nerviraš. Nemam vremena. As you might have already heard, we also like to use ajde or ajmo when we are cheering for our favorite teams or players. When we cheer for Novak Đoković, we say ajde, ajmo, of course with inevitable idemo bre. And when it comes to jao or joj, we use this for a lot of different situations. For example, when we really like something, we say jao strava. Odobrili su nam godišnji. Jao strava, blago vama. When we are sad, we also say jao. Jao, baš mi je žao. Dobila sam otkaz. Jao, baš mi je žao. Also, when we are annoyed, we say jao. Jao, nemoj sad i ti. For example, kako si mogao da zaboraviš pasoš? Jaoj, nemoj sad i ti. Of course, we can also combine ajde and jao in one expression, usually when we are super annoyed and frustrated. Moraš da se uozbiljiš ako hoćeš da nađeš posao. Jao, ajde bre, pusti me na miru. In the end, I want to show you a few expressions we use as a reaction to something that we don't like. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we usually can't hide how we feel about something. Our facial expressions will expose us every time. Well, the same goes for the following phrases. They might sound neutral, but if you hear us say them, you will know we are not okay with whatever we just heard or saw. For example, this phrase, Bože sačuvaj, or Gospode Bože. Ja nikada ne nosim papuče po kući. Bože sačuvaj, razbolećeš se tako. Another one is simple phrase strašno. We use it when we just can't believe how something could be happening. Zamisli, od sad moram da radim i nedeljom. Strašno. If someone is doing or saying something we find offensive, embarrassing, or maybe even stupid, we can say, ma daj bre. Treba da odeš kod njega i izviniš se. Ma daj bre, ne lupaj gluposti. Pa on je pogrešio, ne ja. If we hear or see something that doesn't affect us much, but we still don't like it, we can say, svašta. Vidi šta je obukla Marija. Svašta. And that's all. As you can see, our expressions are as colorful as our emotions. We can be very creative when it comes to phrases, but we can also show you how we feel with one simple word, such as jao or ajde. One thing is for sure, you won't find these expressions in any textbook, so you just enriched your vocabulary with some real Serbian. If this was useful to you, subscribe to our channel because more videos like this are coming. See you soon!